I was hired to rescue this tank in an LA mansion, turning it from this to this. If you haven't seen part 1, be sure to click on the link in the video to check it out. Yeah, as you saw in the videos of us cleaning it out, it was a nightmare. Spent so much time. So today we're gonna work on the fun part, which is the aquascaping. So we're gonna do the hardscape. We have a ton of materials. We have some really dramatic stone. We're gonna do a lot of manzanita mainly. So check it out. All right, so we got our scaffold set up for this is a must-have for taller tanks, and then the existing fish are still in here. They're doing good in the container, and then this is the hardscape materials that we're working with. We got a lot of black lava just to set up like heights for the better stones, and then we got ghost wood, manzanita, large manzanitas right there, and then some of the finer detail branches. So those are gonna probably be broken up. Yeah, the dense ones. So we're probably gonna break those branches up to decorate for details. And then since this tank is not very wide, it's only 2.5 foot in width, so not too much room to work with, especially with the wall divider. You gotta have your margin and space on the two sides. So really we're looking at like realistically maybe like a foot of space for the wood materials. These are the materials that we brought. So some really large stones. Yeah, these are usually used for landscaping and gardens and stuff. But for bigger tanks, bigger projects, we utilize these, and they make really dramatic. Oh God, it's so heavy. Yeah, they make very dramatic um, scapes compositions. Look at the texture and the veins on the rocks. Yeah, I love these stones. Yeah, so look at this one. So I'm thinking we're probably gonna really use this one as like a key piece for the entire scape. Setting the keystone usually set the tone for the entire scape to be built on. All right, inside the tank, got our first big piece in there. It is freaking huge, very, very heavy. So I'm pretty happy about the position right now. Just I'll work around it. But yeah, that's gonna be, I'm gonna cement it, do some micro adjustments and cement it. But yeah, it doesn't look like much right now, but you gotta trust the process. So that's a small one. This is the big one. That's like 80 or, yeah, 80 or 90 pounds. All right, so we made progress. Not too much, not a lot. If you're just only looking at what we have done so far. However, it's a very important step because this is what I call the foundation piece. So, for example, this stone right here, it's a huge stone, and to be able to anchor it very solid and stable is it's very important because that's the key for all the other things that's gonna go on to it, like built onto it. And then we got one of the wood layout coming to this side already, so everything else will come easy because you don't have to keep on figuring it out. All right, check out the progress right now. So this is what we managed to have done. Right here is just this corner. Just working on this corner took me about like almost 2 hours, just because there's it's so hard to see the side, so we have to like FaceTime each other, and then basically figure out like the how to arrange the rock formation and everything. Next is to work on the details of this area. We have to get all the hardscape of this part completed first in order to move on to the left side of the tank. Because once the big branches are in, there wouldn't be any space to get in. Yeah, so today we're gonna finish the hardscape, hopefully, which means also finish the planting. If we do that, then I'll start filling the tank and then get some of the fish back in. And yeah, hopefully we'll get everything wrapped up by Sunday. But so far, things are looking good and the client's happy, which makes me happy. What's up, guys? So it's officially day 3 of rescaping this 600 gallons. We've done a lot of the planting, especially on that section over there, which is the toughest part because you had to glue a lot of anubias and java fern and whatnot. And then all those gluing of the plants really take a toll because just the cramped space in there, like nowhere to set my foot, right? So we had to, let me show you this. So we had to actually strategically place that rock over there because initially, like, that wasn't in my hardscape um I guess planning, so I didn't plan to have that piece of like flat rock over there. But remember how we have to complete this the planting and scaping in stages. So this piece of rock, I mean, now, like, looking at it, it's all right, like, just as a like a different texture to the foreground, I guess you can call it. But it was just placed there because I can step on it. That's basically what it's there for. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you just have to kind of like roll with the punches when it comes to escaping this type of tanks, just because the internal space is so narrow. So we worked till very, very late last night. I think around 11:30 or something like that, and then just planting. Yeah, gluing a lot of these plants takes so long in that cramped space where I have to now get in and trying to complete like a long branch that goes across the tank. It's gonna be really challenging because, yeah, like, there's no space for me to turn around. I'm like, we tried with a large branch yesterday, or last night, and then it turned out to be a nightmare because I was getting pinned by the branch to the side of the tank. I have nowhere to go, and then plus, like, we don't want to scratch the acrylic or anything, and then all the while I have to reach to the end, like the wall right here. So I have to reach to this side, right? And then where, like, that big branch is this one. It's really long and heavy. So with this, I was trying to anchor that end to the wall right here, which is like pretty much impossible to do because it's so heavy. And then just to be able to make the physics works, open space is a challenge, let alone, just working in tight space. So I'm gonna switch it out. So I'm, instead of going with this larger branch, I'm just gonna do either the small branch right here, which is still very long, so I might have to trim it. And then at the end, I'm gonna go install those manzanitas right there. Yeah. So that's a plan. Hopefully I can, you know, complete this within the time frame of about like 5 hours or so today. And then we have to come back to really fill the tank, put the fish back, set up the CO2 system, still work on some of the filtration needs. Yeah, there's a lot of work when it comes to a big tank like this. All right. Well, I'm a person who just naturally sweat a lot. If I just go for a little jog, I sweat. But this is when I'm so glad I did hot yoga for years. Oh my god. Just in this sweat box. The client doesn't have his AC on, it's a hot day. Inside the aquarium is just humid and hot. No ventilation at all. Check it out. So I just added this bench right here to shorten it, way shorten it. So actually I can I have a place to stay after I installed it. Cause yeah, the anchor point is not very strong, man. So I don't want to touch it by any means. But what I had to do is I had to both my feet I had to stand on that rock with both my feet sideways and then reach all the way to the front to the end. Try to reach over there to, you know, dab the glue, set the toilet paper bowls to, you know, all the while I have to hold this in position because Moses is not here today. It's just me. Whew, I had to hold that posture for a good half an hour or so. Okay, half an hour might be exaggerating it. It felt like an hour. Oh, living the dream. After arguably the hardest part of the scape, I just need to add the other branches and plant the rest of the tank. I have the bucket in there not just as a seat, but to help me climb out of the tank once I planted all the space around it. Finally, it's time to fill the tank. Woohoo! This is usually the second most exciting part of the process, the first being adding fish. My patience was really being tested since you don't want to fill up too quickly to stir up all this dust. Alright guys, the tank is all filled. Filled pretty good because water stayed very clear. Look at that. Let's close up. But yeah, this tank is made, I guess, to be admired from afar, I think, because just how tall it is. Yeah, overall, very happy with the result. Yeah. Skylight is really lighting it up. It's awesome. Breathed new life to this aquarium. I'm dead tired, so exhausted. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions regarding the aquascaping process or just with setting up a tank in general, please leave a comment. I have so many contents from my other builds too, so check out my Instagram and let me know which setup you'd like to see next. Until next time, have fun.